Something related that I don't think we've talked about, and people are going to turn off because we're talking about politics probably, but like
Yeah.
um, this whole thing about how the U.S. government, a lot of politicians are trying to get TikTok banned in the
Hmm.
U.S. and they're framing it as though, oh, it's because the privacy issues and China is stealing the private data of American citizens.
Hmm.
But that's not the case at all. It's 100% the conflict in Israel and Palestine.
Oh, for
Be-
sure.
because basically they're pissed off that TikTok is actually showing people videos of the actual like genocide and like
Yeah.
undeniable
It's heavy.
genocide and horrors going over there.
Yeah.
And so like, you know, APAC and like, a select number of like wealthy donors are
Mhm.
basically pressuring these politicians to, get rid of TikTok because of this. And
Yeah.
also like the big like traditional, media outlets too, like they don't want competition or somebody who, and like people who advertise on their networks, like, they don't want them showing the real story because, of course, like the real story is horrific.
Yeah.
Um, so they want to get rid of TikTok because they want to control the narrative. So, you know, and like and the thing is like the privacy issue is an issue, but like so many American apps are like terrible with people's privacy.
Oh yeah.
And so that is not the issue. It's just a smokescreen. So it's like I don't know. Um it's getting crazy. Yeah.
I mean, now they're trying to like change a little bit. I think like so they know that there are people who sell on there. There's business that can be done on TikTok. So what they're trying to do is like put it under American control. Like I guess TikTok in America should be owned by America. Like is what they're trying to do. Um, which I mean, they're gonna do the same thing. Like they're gonna clean it up like for whatever they want us to see. So I have to admit though, like when I was on TikTok, that stuff was really heavy. Like I had to get off, man. Like it's so hard to watch that stuff.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't be able to watch those videos, but I
Yeah,
mean, that is what's causing the issue is like, you know, it's impossible to watch those videos and not recognize that it is a genocide and that they're like
yeah,
just slaughtering innocent people left and right. It's
for
it's
sure.
plainly obvious. And you see videos like that and it's like, okay, there's no denying it. They're just like
Yeah,
slaughtering innocents.
yeah.
um,
It doesn't matter where you stand. Like once you see it, I mean, you can't. You know, what are you gonna do? You can't say it's not real, right? No.
yeah, yeah, it's impossible to you got to be lying to yourself. And I see people on some of these talk shows that are clearly in denial or lying to themselves. And I'm like, I saw, what's crazy is like, I don't know if you've watched any recent Bill Maher's, but
Mhm.
like, even he's obnoxious on this issue because he always frames it where like, I'm unapologetically on Israel's side. And he's like, oh, these kids watch TikTok and they're all pro Hamas. And I'm like, who's coming out as like pro Hamas? Like,
Yeah,
they're,
they
they're
always do that. They always like contort the argument into like if you're not for what we're doing, which is a genocide, then you're pro Hamas. Like that's so black and white and just so like it's such a fake argument. I don't know.
yeah, it's like they're very clearly just like anti the IDF. And
Yeah.
to frame it like that is just, and I don't know. Bill Maher, I'll watch his show or listen to his show just because like there usually is some interesting discussion on there. But like he definitely has taken like he denies this that he's like changed his he always says like, oh, I've never changed, just the people have changed or whatever, you know what I mean? But I'm like,
Mhm.
no, you've changed a little bit over the years, Bill. I think so.
Yeah, yeah. No, he's I mean, you can't stand for anything 100%. Like when new information can come to light, it should make you think twice, you know? I went to some protests for this cause, you know, and at every protest I saw Jewish people too, you know. So it's not like it's like everybody who has compassion, you know, who has a heart that I believe, you know, wants to do something to change things and, you know, whatever, like be active. I mean, it doesn't matter what their background is. I've seen them out there, you know, like, yeah, I don't know.
That is a good point to make. And from what I understand, there's even a ton of people in Israel who have protested
Yeah,
the IDF.
Orthodox Jews, they're very much like, you know, from what I understand, like in support of treating them with dignity and not doing these kinds of things, and like, you know, but they I've seen videos of them getting attacked by the military, you know, like uh I I think there was a statement that somebody said that we'll do to you what we're doing to them in Gaza, you know, like it's they're just silencing people left and right, you know.
Yeah, there was a woman on Bill Maher, and I think she was Jewish, but like, you know, she was like, you know, basically saying that, um, you know, they voted for to put Hamas in power in like 2006 or whatever. But you know, my way of thinking is like, okay, they did, but like, are you? Or what are you telling me then? Is it all the like kids that have been slaughtered that weren't even born at that point? Like you're
Right.
advocating that they should have to pay for the sins of their fathers? I mean, that's what you're
Right.
doing if you say that.
Yeah, no, you're right. Um I saw a politician who I think on the mic said something about like kill them all. Like it's so blatant and bold, and it's just like they don't fear any backlash. It's just nuts, you know. It's so open. They're so brazen about it.
Oh yeah, some of the like ultra right wing people, man. Yeah, they are just brazen about it. Like they don't even. It's not even like dog whistly stuff. They're just like, yeah, kill them all. Like they're just, you
Yeah,
know.
it's sad, you know. Like I don't know how factual this is, but I think there's like a theory that like 20% of people in society will just like they're it's like Nazi Germany. Like they're all in on, you know, the acts that, you know, they that benefit them, whether it's, you know, hurting people or whatever. Like they'll do it. Then 60% of the population just turns the other, like they're a blind eye to it. They don't want to get involved, they don't want any trouble, they just let it happen. And then the bottom 20% or the last 20% are the ones who are actively fighting against it. But at that point, you know, you're basically fighting against 80% of the population, because 60% is just going along with, you know, whatever bad thing, you know, the people in power are doing. So I mean, it just seems like it's a losing battle every time.
It does. I don't know how that Israel conflict's gonna end because, you know, the thing I wonder about is like, let's say Israel just like does kill them all and they just like take over the area or whatever. Isn't that
Yeah.
just gonna, you know, cause all the other Middle Eastern countries that hate Israel to like start attacking them? I don't know. I just don't see it ending well.
Honestly, dude, I don't know about that, because you're looking at these other countries. Saudi Arabia is supposed to be like the country that, you know, is the like the headquarters of that religion, right? Islam. And they're good friends with Israel. You know, they're working with Israel. So the dollar is king. The dollar does everything. Like if you can, they'll some people will sell their own mother for a dollar, you know, like
No, yeah.
so I mean, I don't know. I don't know about them doing anything about it. They're not doing anything about it now, you know?
You know, the other thing I've heard like people in defense of Israel say is like, well, Hamas could stop this today by just like releasing all the hostages. But according to the IDF, that isn't even true because they said, okay, release all the hostages and we'll give you a 6 week ceasefire. Not that they'll end it completely. We'll give you, so yeah, we'll give you 6 weeks to say goodbye before we start the ethnic cleansing over again. You know what I mean? It's
The
like,
last time they had a ceasefire, it didn't even last the 4 days they said it would last. So I mean, yeah, it's hard to believe that.
yeah, like, yeah, that's the other thing is like, we're going to pretend like the IDF doesn't have a history of lying like all the
Yeah.
time. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I feel bad for that entire like region, and like I don't know how it's gonna end. Not well, I don't think.
Man, it's not the only place in the world though. You hear about Congo, like slavery's loud and proud over there, you know, like we support some groups of people who will enslave others to like mine for I think cobalt or something, or resources that we're going to use. And then Elon Musk wants to go into Mexico and get their lithium. Like it's just a never-ending cycle. Like it's all about the dollar. It always comes down to that.
That's true. At the end of the day, like even when religion like kicks the hornet's nest, there usually is some sort of resource, whether it's oil or something at
Hmm.
the bottom of it.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, these things, religion, all that stuff is just tools they use to like
yeah,
manipulate people. But the real thing is like a few people are going to make a lot of money. You
yeah,
know? Yeah.
yeah. Well, on that note, on that happy note, no, I just wanted to talk about the TikTok story because it's wild, man.
Yeah. No, it is. I
It's so
agree.
apparent, and it's just I don't know.
Hmm.
I'm curious how that's going to end because yeah, you're right. It'll probably end up getting bought by like an American, and then they'll just create some algorithm that suppresses all that stuff, kind of like other platforms have done, and it's just like I don't know.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, but yeah, I guess a mix on this episode of funny stuff and not funny stuff, but that's the way that the cookie crumbles sometimes.
Yeah.
But everybody listening and watching, please subscribe both to the YouTube channel and you can subscribe in audio form on your podcast catcher of choice. Leave us thumbs up, positive reviews, all that good stuff. If you like, you can follow me on Twitter/X at Zach Jones Live. That's ZachJonesLive. But that'll do it for all of our shenanigans and poppycock this week. Please, please, please tune in again next week. Bye, guys.
Take care.